leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM. Voice.
Too much expectations. You have to be the perfect wife.
Be a great cook.
Oh yes, a loving daughter and a vixen in the bedroom.
You also have to know how to work it in the boardroom. Reality check. Let's tell you how a real woman does it. Today's Woman, every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Today 95.1 FM.
If I were a boy, even just for a day, I'd roll out of bed in the morning and throw on what I wanted and go. Drink beer with the guys and chase after girls. I kick it with who I wanted, and I never get confronted for it, 'cause they stick up for me. If I were a boy, I think I could understand how it feels to love a girl. I swear I'd be a better man. I listen to her, 'cause I know how it hurts when you lose the one you wanted, 'cause he's taking you for granted, and everything you had got destroyed.
If you were a boy.
If you were a boy, what would you do? Welcome to Today's Woman on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. My name is Buchi Rafwa, happy host for the evening. I won't be hosting the program alone. I'll be hosting it with two beautiful ladies. Boluwatife Jegebe.
Hi, Buchia. Hi, everyone. Good
Bolu
evening.
just started smiling.
Of course, the way you sounded and the way everything just... Anyways, guys, hi, good evening, and you're welcome to Today's Woman. Don't mind Buchi with the...
All right, okay. Please mind me not. I also have the beautiful Queen here in the studio. Queen, it's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Okay, I'm sure most of you have been waiting. We sincerely apologize for the delay. But before we go further, I would love to say a beautiful happy birthday to a very special lady, a beautiful lady. Well, when you meet this lady, you know how awesome she is. She is Ibinabo Bahosful. I want to wish you a happy birthday. Many years, more years in health, in strength, in wealth, in beauty, in love. Can you add more for me? In what else?
In happiness.
In happiness.
In wealth.
I made mention of wealth already.
Wealth is necessary. You need to mention it like 3 times.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
In wealth again, the 3rd time.
In health.
In health again.
In health again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In every good thing of life, basically, we can't start counting or start naming all the old things that we have.
Well, what do you think? I said wealth. Queen, what do you think will be like the very unique thing to wish a lady right now?
It depends on the lady.
Generally.
Okay.
Happiness.
Wealth now. And happiness.
You said wealth first. What is this and money in this generation?
Happiness.
Well,
Happiness is key. Once she's happy, then she's fine. She's
all
good.
right, Ivy, we are wishing you happiness, joy, wealth,
And wealth.
and more wealth. But well, just have a wonderful birthday. Meanwhile, it's today's woman, so basically we'll talk about things that regards women in the country and outside the country. But I would love to start with this particular report on why some women in Kaduna State, in Kaduna community, shun antenatal. So it was actually reported by The Sun. And it says that the major occupation of the inhabitants of the community is farming. They farm to feed themselves and families, but they are not exactly very enlightened on health issues. They know so little or next to nothing. 30-year-old Zainab Abu is married to Kabiru Hassan, a farmer in the community. She has a unique record. Apart from the fact that she is a mother of 12 children, she has been delivered of 3 sets of twins. And the community was happy and proud of her. But to ice the cake, only recently Zainab was delivered of quadruplets. This was a thing of joy to everybody, basically, who described her record as a remarkable feat. She's had 3 sets of twin, and now she's having a quadruplet.
Wonderful.
Remember that all the children were born outside hospital facility. So Zainab confirmed the fact that by saying that she delivers sometimes with the help of traditional birth attendants and sometimes through self-help. The story of Zainab would have been complete, but for a recent very sad event, 2 of her quadruplets passed away, and she has been very sad. Maybe it would not have happened if she was properly cared for. The absence of a nearby primary health care center or health post has been a source of frustration to many women of her community who spend time thinking of helpline each time they are pregnant. She shared her story. In her words now, I quote, "I have been giving birth to twins in the village without going for any antenatal care. I don't also see any health experts. This time around, I had all my 4 babies in my husband's house without any assistance from anyone. I went through pains after my delivery. Indeed, it was not easy carrying the pregnancy and giving birth to 4 babies in a village without any support. I think it is only God. To God be the glory. I am fine. I choose to give birth at home instead of going to the faraway hospital, which involves using the local commercial canoes to cross the river to access a hospital in town. Alternatively, we use motorcycles to go to another community on the other side of the river. The worst thing is that once it is 6:30 p.m., the canoe operators are off the riverbank. Any woman who falls into labor at night can only be managed within the village. The major problem we have here is the distance to the urban center. There is also no safe transport to go to the hospitals in these centers. I have had twins for 3 times, but this is the first time I am giving birth to 4 babies at once. Her husband was grateful to God over his wife's safe delivery. Of course, he, however, disapproved of the hardship women go through due to lack of hospitals or any primary health care facility in the community. Most women in the community face great challenges due to distance to the closest primary health center, which is located by the other side of the river. Most of us here are used to local canoes as means of crossing the river in order to link up with the city for important transaction. He said, my wife has never gone for any medical diagnosis or antenatal since we got married. We've been giving birth at home with or without assistance from traditional birth attendants. She has had 12 children like that. But somehow, some have died. So the district head of Makwala Kurumi, Mohammed Bashiru, he lamented that, in his words, pregnant women living on the other side of the river suffer a lot while crossing in Kenis to access health center on this side. Some of them lose their babies on their way to the health centers, while some even deliver their babies on transit. Now, I actually am sharing this article Just so you now, some persons feel that, especially here in the south, some persons feel that basically everything happening in the north, especially on area talk, you get to hear that to go to the northern part of the country, you see their roads, you see their health centers, you see their schools, and talks like that. But I particularly picked this report to share with you, just so you know that in Nigeria as a whole, there is a serious issue when it comes to health. I remember the other time they said some huge amount of money is being allocated to the health center, but we get to see nothing regards that. So at one point in time, the Minister for Health was saying something about getting hospitals, health center in each local government in Nigeria as a whole. But up till now, I haven't heard anything regarding that particular statement he made. But the bottom line is our health center, our health system in Nigeria as a whole is really faulty, is really lagging behind, both in structure, amenities, in personnel. We are really lagging behind. And you also get to hear that most of the doctors in the United States are Nigerians. And then you wonder what's happening to us here. If most of them over there are from Nigeria, why aren't they here? Why are structures not being put in place to make sure that lives of women, the issue of mortality is being curbed? People die every day because they want to give birth. People lose their life, they lose their baby because there is no basic health center, no health center in their community. Most of them have to travel, like Zainab's story now. She has given birth. Thank God she has how many children? 3 twin and 1 quadruplet. 12 children. Although she lost some, but at least she is safe. I'm not saying that the children dying is a good thing. It's sad. But well, she's still alive and most of her children are still alive. The issue of health, especially for everybody, but since it's today's woman, for the women, it really should be looked into.
Okay, basically, health is one thing that is necessary and is one part of human life that should be looked into every now and then. But then this woman that gives birth in our house, gave birth in a house for close to 4 or 5 times. I don't know why she would do such a thing.
There is no health center. What do you want her to do? She's pregnant. She has to give birth.
There is no health center. And they could not go somewhere that has health. I'm not justifying the fact that there is no health center in the community.
But you feel she should have made
efforts to go somewhere. And then looking at the fact that I don't know why, but then we still need to look at the fact that are people giving birth to like a lot of children these days? Because first of all, she had twins like 4 times, and then 3 times. Yeah. That's like 6 children already. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the last set of kids that she had quadruplets 4 in 1,
16 children.
That's like 10 children.
I think that's 12.
16.
Yeah? 3 2 that's 6 plus 4
16.
Oh really?
Is that
like 2 2 2
12. That's 6.
Shall we are calculating mass here?
Okay, sorry,
10.
Oh, 10.
That's
okay.
10 children. Except maybe she had some.
I think she had
that were not.
Yeah, because the main mention of them being 12.
But then if they were 12 in numbers, like how many people give birth to 12 children these days? She didn't. I don't know why people don't even care about their body, about their well-being. That is one of those things that people should look into.
as much as the truth is that as much as you are aware of things like this, if you look at, there are some communities that they don't even know anything about health center. All they know is that they don't even, like, basic things. Normally, you know that giving birth to that amount of children is like an issue for someone, especially living in the village and all those kind of places.
And then you've had like a lot of children like that, and then you got pregnant again.
I think
you couldn't go to
for issues like that.
Education should come first.
Exactly, sensitization is an issue as well. It's not just that there's no health center. Most of these persons are not sensitized. Their own is that they get pregnant, they will give birth.
What about midwives? There's no how there won't be midwives around.
Are they
she said-
professionals?
are they professionals?
That's
At least
another thing.
There's somebody around you. She said she gave birth alone.
Well, with
And sometimes she said,
assistance.
how would you
she had
clean yourself up?
She had the assistance of some local midwives,
The
something
fourth
like
one,
that.
right? The quadruplet. She
I
said-
don't know who,
Yeah.
but I know she had assistance, and for some, she did it herself.
There is no doubt that we have.
I think first
we
of all,
don't-
you
we
should
don't
commend
really-
her. She's a really strong woman.
Yeah, she is.
She is very.
And
That's why
then-
I'm looking at the fact that how would somebody this day, like in this time and age, give birth to 12 children
There are people
with your
actually
same,
Okay,
with,
she lost
with the
some.
same body, and then you lost some, and it didn't occur to you that okay, well, you
Why
were
is it an
losing
issue
some.
that someone is giving birth to 12 children? For you now, why is it an issue?
12 children
Yeah.
in this generation, in this time, in this age?
Why is it an issue?
12 children.
The
That is
environment
actually
you even
too
find
much.
yourself first.
And then this is like everybody's complaining about
Do you know how many children I
overpopulation.
want to give birth to?
Overpopulation.
At least you're educated, right?
You're
She is
educated.
not
You know that you will get
How
the
will she
means
take care of
to
her
take care of
children?
the children. You know that you will get the means to take care of the children. Most people that give birth to a lot of children these days don't even have the money, the facilities to take care of these children, and then they give birth to children and they just leave them, and then these children just go around begging, doing
Yes,
things, and then you
begging.
see them all around. Auntie, give me something. Auntie, they'll be running around you.
touching you.
Of course, you are educated. If you like, give birth to 20. Of course, you know that
You're
have
able to take care of them.
You would make sure that in your best ability or capacity, you're going to provide for those children. It's not like you're going to leave them lying around on the street saying auntie up and down, brother. No, you
Is that the one obsessed that they call you auntie on the road?
don't know. But then it's just
Well.
irritating
Basically,
to
I
see
think
children like that.
on the issue of health, I really wish that Nigeria federal government would look into the issue of health, and all state governments as well will look into the issue of health centers in each local government. At least in each local government, there should be one functional
There
health
should be.
center,
I don't know
and
why.
then probably the community or their local government chairman could work on getting health centers in different communities. But at least one good working functional health center should be in each local government. At least that is
We
all.
don't need to be
we don't even need to say
sensitized
all
to.
this.
Apart from
And-
getting the
Exactly. Sensitization should be really
should
worked
come
on.
first. Then they should now bring those things in. That okay, you people, we know this is how you've been living before, but this is not how you're supposed to live. Then they sensitize them, and then they bring the facilities in. But I don't think we're supposed to say this before the government knows that they're supposed to do all these things for the people. And then you made mention of most doctors abroad being mostly Nigerians. I've read some things about surgeons, very great surgeons that are doing like very well abroad, taking the highest paid doctor abroad is currently a Nigerian. And I don't know why these people, they can definitely come home and do these things and work here, but it's almost the same thing as okay, you know, when we have people go abroad and then they go for treatment, it's almost the same thing. It's just like, okay, let's put it side by side. These people are abroad there, they are doing their work, and then we have people going there to taking treatment. Why? Because okay, these people feel like the facilities we have here is not enough. Okay, I won't be paid enough, and all they've calculated, and so those people traveling out to take treatment have also calculated that the treatment and everything. I think one time they said that the Aso Rock hospital, the hospital at Aso Rock or something, didn't have the facilities needed. They checked and they realized that they've been taking money, but then they don't have the
Aso Rock.
facilities. Yes, they don't have the facilities needed in the clinic.
I think
Aso Rock itself.
the main reason we have is to share. Like these guys you're talking about that I really learned, like these doctors, why can't they just come back and give back? That's the main reason you
Give
get,
birth,
right?
but then I don't think. Anyways, a lot of things surrounds
You have
that
to, in
because even
fact.
you yourself, you're going to think about it and you're going to calculate. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but then we also have to do some maths and some calculations. But of course, they should give back.
Okay. Well said. But if you look at Nigeria, the way the economy is, security, economy. I think you've forgotten that period of time where you always hear reports of doctors being kidnapped.
Of course.
Or how much they're being paid,
Mm.
and the rest of it. I think there are so many things our country, Nigeria, needs to work on. And somehow they're all intertwined, like they're all related. Health, security, education, basically everything. We really need to look into issues like that. But then recently, there's been talk about trafficking in Nigeria. And then it reminds me of the coronavirus. Oh, dear Lord, help us. Just recently, I think that was yesterday in the House, they were talking about our airports not having good facilities or instruments to check if monitor coronavirus in essence. And then all of a sudden this morning, I think it was posted yesterday or so, but this morning I woke up just yesterday, I read of that person talking in the House about our airports getting facilities to checkmate the issue of coronavirus, to make sure that everybody are being checked and properly screened, exactly. And then I think they said something to the federal government should look into that, aviation should do this and they should do that. And then this morning it was coronavirus. Basic health center we don't have. How do we tackle this issue of? And I also heard the guy, the Italian guy, he traveled to, I think he went to Ogun State before, I don't know, but he did some sort of movement. How do they track everything? With our data system, how do we monitor things like this? Well, in essence, we really, really, really need to sit up.
We really need to do a lot of work in Nigeria.
Before we do go on to that trafficking part of it in Nigeria, I think we talked about trafficking many times on the program. But just so you know, there's been talk about delivering Nigerian women from trafficking gangs, both home and abroad. But there's something else that came up when I was told this story last night, and the next thing was that I was about throwing up just hearing the story. It was like I was going to throw up, and I was like, Jesus Christ, what on earth is this? Where is this happening? Why is it happening? And who is allowing this happen? But there was a report that turned up online, My Joy Online, and they reported something on some women in a particular state here. And it was said that the Gombe State Command of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, that's NDLEA, they said that the act of drug abuse amongst women in Gombe State has grown. From normal addiction to drugs, you know, the normal, we take drugs, we get high, feeling ecstasy and the rest of it. Mm-hmm. They've graduated from that level. Now they've moved from normal drug addictions, and now what they do is that they boil, use sanitary pads, filter, and then drink the water so they can get high. But a sensitization program was going on for residents of Bajoga, the headquarters of Funakaye local government area of Gombe State. The commander in charge of the Funakaye command of the agency, Muhammad Al-Khali, he disclosed that the scourge is growing by the day. The scourge of women using boiling used sanitary pads, filtering the water and drinking it. He said that the sensitization campaign, which the agency carried out at the palace of the Emir of Funakaye, was to carry the traditional rulers along in the fight against illicit drugs abuse. In his words, I quote now, "This is because it has come to our notice that mostly female addicts have devised means of getting high without consuming constitutionally banned or known substances. They now boil, use sanitary pads, mix it with other substance, mostly waste, filters the water before drinking." You see, this is very bad for us as humans. Our society, don't throw up here, Bikono. Our society really needs the help of all and sundry in this fight, as NDLEA cannot do it alone. Al-Khali said. Also speaking at the sensitization campaign, the principal staff officer in charge of press and special duties units of the State Command, Mr. Akomolafe Adekola, he disclosed that in 2015, the State Command made 69 arrests with a total seizure of 844.006 kilograms of various illicit drugs in that particular state. So the issue of drugs, abusing drug is one thing, but the level at which they have taken it to is another thing. Like I said, when I heard the story yesterday, before I went online to search for it, I feel like throwing up. Even talking about it is an issue, Seb. But how do you picture, or how do you? Oh my God. Well, I made a research, and then I got to find out that this is not the first time something like this is happening. It's been reported in some other country, Indonesia. It was reported at Indonesia, and some research was carried out. Even if it's not something that was common, but somehow, according to a report I saw on Snopes, is that somehow most stories, most newspaper media houses just painted the story, because it's not like it didn't happen, but it wasn't as well, the way they hyped it, the way the media hyped it, it wasn't as bad as that. But at least a similar situation like that was reported. And then I started trying to search what exactly a sanitary pad contains, and well, I can't exactly say that this and this is what the sanitary pad carries, but I guess it has some sort of, yeah. And I don't know, is it the substance these people are after?
Used sanitary
Used,
pad
that's the problem.
that has blood on it.
Exactly.
It can
Because
be
if they're
unused
just
too.
trying to boil the gel, I don't know. This thing is not coming up. I would have read out the story of the boy that actually explained from Indonesia, though not Nigeria now, not Gombe State. He was explaining how the process, the first thing they do, he said they buy it. So that made me wonder, if they buy it, it means probably they don't even, and this is actually done by very poor people after working and everything. They cannot access, probably they just want something
Mostly
to make them
ladies.
feel. No, not ladies.
Guys too.
In Gombe State, it was said it's practiced by women, but in Indonesia, according to that report I saw, it wasn't really clearly stated out if it was for women or guys, but it just said it happens there, and it's carried out, like I said, by very poor people that cannot afford whatever it is they will be needing. But then they purchase these things, boil it, the gel, the gel in between the sanitary
Yes,
pad,
yeah.
they boil it and somehow they drink it. But some also, oh, please stop cringing now.
That sounds totally
Really
senseless.
disgusting. Like,
It sounds totally senseless,
How
because
do
I
they-
don't know who sat down
And
and thought
thought
about
about
that
it.
kind of thing.
If that's senseless, how? I'm sure you know that what they call this thing, the sockaway. Some persons go there and inhale the smell coming out of sockaway. They inhale it to get high.
Then those people
Like, how
need help.
bored?
They are psychologically and mentally sick, and they really need help. They need to be admitted, because very soon you definitely realize that person will be working naked on the street or something, or will just be walking around the streets. Let's be frank, because a normal person, you would leave. It's not enough that, okay, you are maybe you're inside your room, and then somebody's using your toilet, and then the thing is smelling to you. You are even feeling somehow like, babe, what's this, or whatever, and then you took it to another level,
the soak
that
away.
you want to get high. You now went to the soak away to go and be smelly and inhaling. So yeah, you will get high. You will get high now. High in madness. Because I don't understand who does that. And then they are boiling sanitary pad.
used.
It's not even plain white one. No,
Are they even
normal
humans?
one.
Like, there's blood there.
So
It is even used. You don't understand. Used. It is not like it is normal blood that maybe
Oh,
you cut your hand
fresh blood.
and then you now put the thing on the pad and then you now extract. It is used sanitary pad by women that you use during your period. Like, I don't understand. They will now boil it and now add things and I say I want to get
Like
high.
when they are boiling, like they will be happy and all.
They need redemption. Those are the kind of people that need to go into rehabilitation. Something is wrong. Something
Maybe
is
they are
definitely wrong.
possessed.
I don't know what to call it, but I see it as it is definitely senseless. Like, who came up with the idea? Who thought about it that, okay, the next thing they're going to be doing now, so because we don't have money, because, okay, we know that the condition might be kind of hard, but then because you don't have money, the next thing that you can think of is devising means some crazy things that when even normal people
I
hear, they
think
just
these
look
people
at
are
you like,
even
are you
learned
okay?
because for them to know that the pad has that kind of substance, like
No, I don't think they are. Probably one way or the other, somebody just discovered it and they were like, "Well, let's try this," and it worked out well for them.
You know, I've heard of some things that people like in Nigeria. Basically, we have. I heard that we have brain. Of course, we have brain. Like, okay, we are inventive, but then we don't use our brain correctly. We just
Please, you cannot
we
generalize it. It's not a
some people are using the brain correctly. I'm just saying that, okay, this is a situation. Nigeria is a case study. Of course, every one of us are inside the country, but then some of us are using our brain and some of us are not using our brain, but the majority don't use the brain. They use it for something. They use the brain, but then it is for something really negative. Instead of us to use it for something really positive, that when other countries hear about it, they'll be like, okay, these people are developing, they're inventing stuffs. But then what we get to hear about is how they invent things like sanitary pad, highness. Like, I don't understand.
like how high do you, and then they get hallucinations and all
With sanitary pad. Sanitary pad drink.
and then you cannot even really place your hands on these people because, okay, let's say they are females, you can't stop them from buying pads.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say something regards to that. There's been a clamor because there are some organizations that actually provide what they call it, condoms for people to help ladies sexually, to protect them, not expose them to all sort of STDs and pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy, and the rest of it. And there's been some clamor also for such organizations too, because pad is something that definitely every lady needs to have, almost for life, not for life though, because you stop seeing your period at a particular point in time. Yeah, but especially sanitary pads though. They've been clamoring that this should be made available. Some organizations should like provide these things for ladies and distribute it for free for ladies, same way they do for condom. And then I just wonder that with this particular issue going on, well, according to that report, it was published. It was said by NDLEA, but I don't know. Now it made me think of the recent spat of how women attack men in Nigeria precisely. The other time we heard of the lady that because of 3,000 naira,
Yeah, she stabbed her husband.
she stabbed her husband. The other one killed her husband because of charging points.
Yeah,
they were struggling
wanted
for
to
who
charge,
will plug, who would connect to their charger. And quite a number of them has happened here in Rivers State. I really cannot even place my
There
hand
was
because
even
there are
one
so much.
yesterday that we talked about that she also, I think she killed the husband too, or she beat the husband, something like that.
Like
what are these men doing?
No, my issue now is
Like they will just,
women are actually very special and they're unique, yeah. But I don't know, I'm not trying to sly any woman or anything. But the thing is that when the thing gets to a woman's head like this, their own is always very different. When guys are getting high, at least okay, away is bad, but they're not consuming something, a waste from your body. But now this set of women, their own highness is on another level. When men are abusing their wives, which is very wrong and condemnable, you shouldn't raise your hand on your wife. You shouldn't abuse any woman for whatever reason. But the way women attack men these days, what is the problem? What exactly is wrong? Is there some kind of spirit going around that is just making people lose it, and whatever you do because of 3,000 naira, I'll kill you? Or because of, I even heard of one that stabbed her husband while he was sleeping. That it wasn't an official report though, but I just stories now when they're talking about these things. I heard that one stabbed her husband, like he cheated on her, and then she didn't say anything. She allowed him to sleep. At night, she picked a knife and stabbed the man. Imagine this man sleeping and waking up in the next world just because the wife was angry. What exactly is the problem?
But then, I'm not saying the wife is right. She's not right at all. But then, if the man knew that she knew about the cheating, why didn't he apologize?
That is not
even
the
if
problem.
he doesn't want to apologize, he cheated. Why wouldn't she just walk away or stay away?
You don't have the right to take anybody's life.
I didn't justify it. I just said I did not justify the fact that she killed the husband. But then, of course, I don't know. Maybe recently, the tables are just turned. You know, it was basically about men.
No,
before.
because we're clamoring for equality and everything. It's good. It's fine. Feminism in the country, it's fine. I believe in equality. I don't think that you should pay a man and a woman doing the same job. You should pay the man more than you should pay the woman, or you should be a sexist and say, "Oh no, this is reserved for only men. Women cannot do this." No, everybody, we're humans before the gender part of it. But my issue now is that the kind of reports you get with women attacking men, being so violent, it is really disheartening. It is condemnable, and it's really sad. The other time for Valentine, I heard a girl killed someone else because of a boyfriend.
I saw one of those ladies. She went to go. It's not even the boyfriend. She went to go and she got a blade, and then she tore, as in she tore
disfigured.
She disfigured the boyfriend's new girlfriend.
Boyfriend's new girlfriend's face.
It was a seriously deep cut. Like the thing, like she tore it. Like she and her friends, they tore the face. Like they tore the face.
I think in general, there should be some sort of sensitization for women, and maybe we should start having more psychiatrists or psychologists, people that would check your mental sanity, how sane you are. Like, it should be made compulsory. But in fact, every system, security, individuals, organizations should get psychologists or psychiatrists that will check everybody's sanity. Because I don't know what exactly some persons want to say the economy is somehow, and people are just angry unnecessarily. But what kind of anger?
And with women.
Yeah, it's a thing with women.
It's women, right? If it were to be men, we will all be out and ranting. But since it's women, you would have to look for a reason. Maybe he cheated. Why didn't he apologize? Like he said, but she did something wrong. Like, why would you kill a person?
Why would you kill a person? It is not right. But then there were times when men were doing these things too. We hear it every time. I'm not saying it's a retaliation. I'm just saying that it was more on the guy's side before, but now it's more like the women are taking over in these things, and it is not like it is a good thing. It is not a good taking over. It is a really bad thing.
Yeah.
But then it's more like the table is turned, and we don't really know why. And that is why we need to know what exactly the cause is, because things can just change like that from how it was before, and then it just changed, and women now start being very, very aggressive, angry, any small thing, they are violent. They can just stab anybody, just do anything to anybody anyhow. No.
Do you think this clamor for equality somehow is getting into some women's head?
I don't think it's the issue of equality, because most times...
Because these days, what you get to hear is, oh, we're equal, we're the same thing with the men. Man should not be violent with you. Or when he says this, you say your own. When he does, whatever he does, do your own too. You are equal and the rest of it. Do you think somehow that in any way in any way whatsoever sort of influences some women to act this way. But you should also know that most of these ladies that you get to hear reports regards such issues, most of them are not learned per se. They're just like the everyday African kind of woman. But do you think that in any way, probably they're not well sensitized on what taking control or what being equal or what being a feminist is?
These ladies we're even talking about, they might not even know about feminism and all.
Yeah,
they're
that's the
not
thing.
even fighting
What
for that.
if?
Like,
Yeah, exactly. What if they might not be well sensitized on what exactly this course is for? Because you see, people take it to the extreme. Some will say, "Don't open door for me because I'm a feminist." Some will say, "Don't do this for me because I'm a feminist." But you see, so many different persons with how they explain feminism, how they explain equality, how they explain not being overridden by a guy. So do you think in any way maybe they are just aware of it but they are not well informed and somehow they have a different meaning or they have a different mindset to it? Probably this in any way has anything to do with most of this spat we're seeing of recent.
in a way, I think it's related.
You think?
Yes, because most women see that men are free to cheat because they are men, and then women, we are not supposed to cheat.
We cannot do anything.
Yeah.
So if you feel I can't do anything about it, I'll tell you I can do something and then I get very violent at
And
you.
kill you.
Right. This is your theory, eh? Yeah, a conspirator.
She's actually true. That was what I've been trying to say since that. It is not like these women, they just woke up one day and just felt like, okay, let me kill my husband. They must have accumulated these things. Like they compiled these things. Like, okay, be doing it 1, 2, and the day will just come when the old thing, they won't be able to take it anymore, and they will just, do whatever they want to do to
and
the
then
men.
you also hear most of them say, well, they didn't bring out the knife. Like the one that stabbed her, I don't know if it's exactly her boyfriend, but I know it happened at Ogun State and she was arrested. She stabbed the guy after collecting 3,000 naira from his pocket, and then she's like a suspect now. He said that he actually brought out the knife, but somehow they were struggling with the knife, and then the knife bounced on his chest.
And that might be true. Maybe
That might be true.
she
What
was
if
being
it's not
defensive.
true?
I don't know.
If it's not true, then she has to go in for it too. But
But
then,
she got the money.
The lines are up. Let's hear from you. What you think about most of this issue, especially the one where women get high over use the menstrual sanitary pad, and the recent spots where we're always getting reports of women attacking men, being violent on men. It's happened here in River States quite a number of times. It's happened in so many other parts of the country. What exactly do you think is instigating or pushing such violence or such hostility in these women? It's 0817000951 or 08109510 Good evening. Turn off your listening device.
All right. Good evening, Buchi.
Go ahead.
Well, I thank you for the topic, and I want to just come in. You said that, and you also said the very kind of spirit going on. Buchi, women are good creatures.
Of course we are.
They are mothers of the earth. Without them, God used them to make sure life is procreated. But if women don't take care, if they're not careful, they can fall into wrong hands by the wrong spirit, can go to the extreme. Instead of being a useful tool in the hand of God, it will become a very bad tool in the hand of the enemy. Because, God said in his word that the seed of the woman will bruise the head of the serpent. So, the woman is a good thing that God wants to use her seed to bruise the head of the serpent.
Are you trying to say that somehow women, if they are good, it's to the extreme, but when they go the other way, it's also to the extreme?
Oh, they can go to the extreme, even in the Bible days. I'm telling you, because they saw blood every month. So shed blood is very easy for them. Because they are used to blood. Like this one you're talking about now. How can somebody drink something from your body? You see, that is why when you see all these diseases springing up, women are making love to dog, monkey, snake. Even that comes their head to the extreme.
Snake,
See, when you watch, like today, I was listening to one of your sister radio stations when they say, okay, what have best friend done to you? Every woman come and see horrible things fellow women can do. So because their friend married before them, or because their friend better than them, they can go to the extreme to hurt their fellow so-called friend for years. I'm telling you. So be careful you call your friend until you succeed. You don't know who's your friend. So women, like I'm saying, you will be talking. Women should be very careful, watch their own heart to make sure that their heart is not being used against them own self. That's why I don't drink all this kunu or zobo, all this thing prepared. I don't drink it because you don't know what somebody can even use urine. That time in Ava, a woman used water from dead corpse, water from corpse and start cooking. They cut her, so they can get customers. Another time again, as a report, a woman used saw machine and cut her husband to pieces, use the meat and wrap for meat pie. Things happening. Men are horrible, women are horrible. So you really need to cry. I'm proud to be a Christian. I have no regret. Because this life, look at coronavirus. Women are getting married to their own brother in China, making love to their own blood brother. How can not all this evil?
Where did you hear this one from?
Where
did you hear this one now?
But don't you know? Look at it. You know that China people marry themselves. You can't get the same face. You can marry your own left cousin.
All right, B.O.B.
In China.
Okay. All right, B.O.B. Thank you so much for your contribution there. There was also one report that a woman, although she got arrested as well, she kidnapped her friend's mother for one reason or the other. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Turn off your listening device. Welcome. Oh, I can't hear you. Do also call back, please, if you can. Turn off your listening device.
Oh, my Lord.
Woman of God, welcome.
I miss you guys. Bolu, how are you?
I'm fine, woman of God. Good evening to you.
It's Greg.
He's fine.
Say you without light to a day for that next year. Not light for how many days? I can't even bath. No water.
That's serious, too. Hey, that's for area talk. We'll get that one. Do you want to react to what we've been talking on?
What about this? Women are ready to go. They're going haywire.
What do you think is the problem? Why?
I don't know whether it's depression, whether it's anger, their group. I saw it online. Like that. There was a heard that a woman said if she caught her husband beating on her, now what she would do, she go to the car and point the brake. Either the man uses the car in the morning and die or have injury. So somebody somewhere saw this piece of her and went and forwarded it to her husband's Twitter. When the man saw it, now packed her whole face and sent her back to her father's place. The man said, I don't want to die now. I'm young.
So the man was planning on cheating on this woman.
Imagine that what happened in Kobe State. They use pad, and they want to be high. My brother, my sister, this is end time. It's satanic. Satan is really in move now. It's very bad.
All right. Okay. We need prayers, says woman of God. There's also one that happened in Imo States as well. The woman cut off her husband's tongue and nose. This one happened in Imo here. Why are you laughing?
It's really funny.
That she cut off his tongue and his nose. This is not funny. This is not funny.
The nose.
Exactly what is the problem?
What could he have done for her to cut the nose?
Okay, according to the report, a medical doctor, Cherichi Okonko, he was admitted to the emergency unit of the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, Imo State, over injuries inflicted on him by his wife. The wife, a nurse, allegedly removed the husband's upper teeth, the tip of his tongue, part of his lower jaw as well. And it was reported that the couple were living in World Bank area of the state's capital. Well, he said the woman cut off his nose, upper teeth, the tip of his tongue, and part of his lower gums. She then called the guy's mother to come and carry her son's corpse. Oh, Jesus. Luckily for the doctor, he was rushed to the hospital the night after this was reported. Before it was reported, rather, and he was stabilized. Although he's unconscious, he cannot talk since he's on tracheotomy. The public relation officer in the state, Orlando, told the Punch that the matter had been reported to the police. Why are women angry?
Oh, yeah, sorry, the network is bad. I called back others.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, this same issue, that all these women are doing, it has happened to my dad brother.
You have to tell us that story in less than a minute, please.
Okay, so when my dad brother was sleeping, you understand, so the wife went there. When she went there, she pressed my dad brother's neck to see my dad brother. You understand? So I was surprised. So I was in a maritime academy when my brother called me that I should come and throw the wife and the load outside. So I said, no, I'm in the program, so I can't come now. You understand? So when I came back, the man narrated the whole story to me. This is what the wife did to him. He was sleeping and she came and she pressed the neck to kill him. So I was surprised. What is all this rubbish? This is bad. You understand? If you are tired of the man, it's better you go. You understand? So maybe if you are friend and that man, tell me your friend and that man, I will say to you, go. But you come and kill me. So I don't know what is wrong with this. I was writing that is very bad. So it's making us to be afraid of women, no. So I don't like it, oh. You understand? What kind of thing is this? It's wickedness now. The woman you marry with your money. It's bad. So I don't like it. So I was ashamed.
I don't understand. You married her with your money. Is it only your money?
So it's bad now. I'm ashamed because I don't want to tell people this type of something.
All right.
I will talk. I will not close my mouth. Well, I don't like it.
Okay.
When you married, it's bad now. It's a shame.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Albert, for sharing your story with us. Really sad. Interestingly sad, though. Well, whatever the reason is, although up till now, I really cannot place my hand on what exactly is pushing these women involved in things like this. It's not all, but at least the increase, the number of reports we get regard to women being violent to their husbands, to some guys around, it's really alarming. 95.1 of them. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Zion, welcome.
Good evening to you.
The truth is this. A lot of women are bitter. Their hearts are bitter.
Why?
Because of maybe their past relationship before they got married, or some experiences during their childhood, how they saw their mother treated their father, or the way their father treated their mother. And they now grew up with that bitterness and that anger. I'm telling you the truth. And because of the level of poverty and illiteracy, we are breeding this set of people who are choleric in nature, who will not forgive you, who want to revenge, who are angry against us. And the truth is this, the single ladies should rise up. You single ladies should rise up and defend we the men. A lot of us as men, we go through a lot of domestic abuse, even though we can't come out and tell you. Earlier we hear about the women. No, we men are suffering, so there's no time. We will further this discussion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zion, for being so considerate. I really appreciate that you thought of the time. But he just said that most men in their homes are actually going through a lot. Okay, probably we might talk about this next week because we actually don't have time. So next week we'll get an expert in all these relationship issues. Probably we'll get their side of the story, but we'll also talk about this particular issue, violence in the homes and caused by women, which is really unfortunate. We've been talking of home violence, men beating and battering their wives, but these days we're saying something else. And Mr. Zion just said that, well, what men go through, most of them don't talk about it because of that same issue of, well, you're a man, you should man up, and the rest of it.
I think people, a lot of people are in very sad relationships right now. like maybe they wrongly married and everything, and you know the
why would you?
anger.
Don't you think this thing somehow has something to do with money? Because some persons, why would you say you are not happy in the relationship if the guy has all the money in this life? Especially based on what I heard last week.
Money is not everything.
Based on what you guys said last week.
Maybe the impression the guy gave to the lady before they got married, and then when
she got there, she did see.
As in nothing. Like the thing was
but like I
different. So.
Like I said, me personally, I'm not looking for your money. If I like you, I like you. I don't know what exactly the problem is, but by next week, I'm sure you ladies will be here with us, and we'll get an expert and let's talk about this particular issue. Thank you so much for doing today's woman with us. We have to go now, but like I said, please join us next week because we will be talking and taking this issue a bit further. Thank you so much. She's Boluwati Fejagede. She is Queen. I am Buchira Fwa. The news updates comes up next.
Pay the bills, girl, everything I do is for you. Hey.
Is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good evening, here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Buchira Fwa. The federal government says it has begun the process of tracing all those who have had contacted with a coronavirus affected person who flew in from Milan, Italy. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage, made the disclosure while briefing newsmen in Abuja. Osage said the Port Harcourt Port Health Services is working with the airline, which the man came in with to trace all the passengers aboard the airline.
All those people who this man has been in touch with, backwards from the day he was admitted, and begin to go right back. The first point as a country, and remember we have always said that we suspect that by air is the most likely putative form of entry into this country, which turns out to be correct. And the first line of defense there is the Port Health Services. The Port Health Services will be working with the airline to get the passenger manifest and find out where exactly this gentleman was, and also where he sat, and also those who sat around him, and set up a monitoring system for all the passengers and the crew members of that particular flight in order to be able to get information to monitor their state of health within the next 14 days. And further questioning of the gentleman will also reveal where he was, where all he went. All we know now is that he came from Milan, where he was before. It doesn't seem that he ever was in China. It doesn't seem so.
The minister also assured that passengers coming into the country are properly screened at the airport in line with the recommendation of the World Health Organization.
So the question of quarantine, the World Health Organization advises everybody, all countries, that there is no need to put every single traveler into quarantine. There are some other countries who choose to do differently, but we follow the guidelines of the World Health Organization, which says that screen all persons who are entering your country, take their travel history. If they are coming from a country that has a high burden of the coronavirus, invite them for further questioning. Take the details, give them a phone number to call you, take their own phone number, and advise them in the interest of their own family and friends to stay in self-isolation for 14 days and report any symptoms immediately. Not only that, if you do not call, we call you and find out how you are. And if you have any suspicious symptoms, you send an ambulance to get you. The ambulances are there. Our focus is on the 4 cities with functional international airport, Port Harcourt and Kano. Enugu Airport has been closed. I understand it will open very soon, but we're also preparing for that possibility.
The case involves an Italian citizen who works in Nigeria and just returned from Milan, Italy on the 25th of February 2020. He was confirmed to be positive by the virology laboratory of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, part of the laboratory network of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The ministry, however, noted that the patient is clinically stable with no serious symptoms and is being managed at the Infectious Disease Hospital in Yaba, Lagos. Meanwhile, the federal government has said it did not quarantine travelers coming into the country following the recommendation of the World Health Organization, WHO. Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Hanire, said this while briefing newsmen in Abuja. This follows the outbreak of coronavirus in Lagos State. Present at the briefing was the Minister of State for Health, Olurunimbe Mamora, and top officials of the Federal Ministry of Health. Dr. Hanire said WHO had advised that there is no need to quarantine every, and Nigeria has decided to follow the guidelines. He also added that the United Nations agency recommended that newly arrived travelers should be advised to stay in isolation for 14 days. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has slammed the presidency for failing to prevent the coronavirus from entering the country. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Kola Lubodian, the PDP criticized President Buhari's administration for its carelessness in its response to mobilize effective surveillance and screening measures to deal with the virus. The party stated that the wealth of Nigerians should be highly placed, adding that Nigerians are now restricted in their movements. On his part, former Vice President and presidential candidate for the PDP 2019, Atiku Abubakar, has recommended that President Buhari cancel all flights from countries already affected by the coronavirus. Atiku said Nigeria should fight the disease the way it fought the outbreak of Ebola virus in 2014. He, in his Facebook post, made reference to the possibility of the border closure enacted by President Buhari, as he said it would also not be difficult to stop flights coming in from countries affected by the coronavirus. Meanwhile, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said that all public gathering would be cancelled if the coronavirus in the state escalates. Sanwo-Olu said this while briefing newsmen at the State House in Marina. The Lagos State Governor said that the state has not yet taken such steps at this early stage of confirming the virus, as it would create unnecessary panic. He assured that the victim was being isolated at the state's biosecurity facility in the Yaba area of the state. The Hydrocarbon Protection and Remediation Project, HYPREP, has been urged to ensure the inclusion of women in the decision-making process of the Ogoni cleanup exercise. An environmental activist, Kabari Sam, said the report of a research shows that women, especially those in the rural areas, are most vulnerable to the pollution of Ogoni land. Sam, who is the head of Center for Environmental Human Rights and Development, in an interview with newsmen in Port Harcourt, noted that women in the Ogoni land have been sidelined and do not have access to the information in the clean-up exercise.
Women, as a very vulnerable group, bear heavy burden of the pollution. The study noted that prolonged exposure to polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon prevalent in the Ogoni area will increase cancer rates of the local population, especially skin, lung cancer, as earlier reported in 2011 by the UNEP report on environmental assessment of Ogoni land. There is increased number of deaths and reduction in lifespan in some communities. Women who bears a huge impact of oil contamination as a result of their high vulnerability should be adequately involved in the cleanup.
Another foreign groups of refugees and migrants are heading towards the European Union after Turkey said it would not abide by a deal to stop them reaching Europe. Turkey's communication chief said the country had not received enough support in hosting millions of Syrian refugees. Its decision followed a deadly attack on Turkish troops by Syrian government forces in northern Syria. The incident sparked fears of a major escalation involving Turkey and Syria's military allies Russia. Greece and Bulgaria, which border Turkey, have sent reinforcements to prevent people entering. And that's all we have for you tonight on the news update here on Today95.1 FM. Thanking you for listening. I am Buchira for a good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
We hear of these words every day. Never lie, cheat, steal, or drink. What? If you must lie, lie in the hands of the one you love. If you must steal, steal away from bad company. If you must cheat, cheat death.
And if you must drink, drink in the moments that take your breath away. Remember, happiness is free. Don't be a fool. Proudly brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
My girl, she got a gun in her hand, and she keeps one in her man. Baby girl, I know what I did. You ain't gotta run the amount, so run the amount. Baby, I say run the amount. Let me know how you really feel, so run the amount. You know I got a special spot to help you remember me. And every time you leave this spot, you know I get to see. Oh, she's bright like electric bulb, so everybody gets to see, yeah. And every time you leave this spot, you know I get to see, yeah. But tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. Say tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. So tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Oh. See a different love and I may not boast. Me, I keep on dodging them in my post. I don't even mind your number two. Tell me what you want, I want it too. But if you wanna go, I understand why. I can never be the number one guy. I don't even mind a number two. Tell me what you want, I want it too. You know I got a special spot to help you remember me. And every time you leave this spot, you know I get to see. Oh, she's bright like electric bulb, so everybody gets to see, yeah. And every time we leave this spot, you know I get to see, yeah. But tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. Say tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. So tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. But tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. Say tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. So tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Oh.
Stargate. Fresh new.
Yeah. She calls out to the man on the street. Sir, can you help me? It's cold and I've nowhere to sleep. Is there somewhere you can tell me? Yeah. He walks on, doesn't look back. He pretends he can't hear her. Starts to whistle as he crosses the street. Seems embarrassed to be there. Oh, think twice. It's another day. Paradise. Oh, think twice. It's another day. You and me in paradise. Think about it, yeah.
She calls out to the man on the street. He can see she's been crying. Yeah, she's got blisters on the soles of her feet. She can't walk, but she's trying.
Think twice.
Yeah. In paradise, oh yeah. Think twice. 'Cause it's another day for you. You and me in paradise. Oh, you and me in paradise. You and me. Just think about it.
95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
At my back, I ain't coming.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
This is
from this store, drop the account details, and get paid every day as other customers shop.
Welcome to the last edition of Global Sports Update. My name is Godwin Akena. On this show today, we have someone you'll love to listen to. I'm talking about a very passionate Arsenal fan. He's having a rethink. Should he stay? Should he move on? You're going to hear from him when we bring him on. Who is this person? We need to keep that on our wraps for now. Solomon Divre has got a job to do. Solomon, over to you.
Godwin, another weekend is upon us already, and it's always a pleasure to be here. But we started the news right here from home. As we know, the Nigerian Professional Football League is a very difficult terrain, especially for strikers. That is why it has been very difficult for strikers in the Nigerian Professional Football League to break Ufon Udo's record. Well, the rain for this season, Golden Boot is on already, and Aqua United utility man Indifreke Effiong, who as we know is the first player to score 10 goals, is leading the race for the Golden Boot this season. Indifreke Effiong has made it clear that it might be difficult to break Ufon Udo's record, but he has said his aim is to be the top scorer in the league this season. It will be a great achievement and fantastic recognition for me, he said, and it will also put me in the mind of our national team coaches. Effiong must not rest on his laurels as Enyimba's forward Victor Mboma is on 9 goals, and the trio of Tasu Lawal of Katsina United, Plateau United's Ibrahim Mustafa, and Rangers International Israel Abia are all on 8 goals as we head into match day 22 on Sunday. We leave all that and we move straight to Europe. And yes, Chelsea's summer overhaul continues as Olympic Lyon midfielder Alsema Or is now Chelsea's number 1 target. Frank Lampard is determined to dip into the transfer market after his Chelsea side humiliating defeat at home to German Bundesliga giant Bayern Munich. Chelsea have already signed Hakim Ziyech for next season, and they are ready to bid for the Lyon midfielder. The 21-year-old France under-21 international will cost Chelsea around 50 million euros as Italian Serie A giants Juventus have also registered their interest. Still in Europe, Arsenal's Mikel Arteta has identified one of the summer targets his struggling Arsenal side needs. And Arteta went on to say the Gunners will pay whatever is needed as they look to solidify their midfield. Atletico Madrid midfielder Thomas Partey is their number 1 target, and they are willing to pay his £42 million release clause. The Ghanaian international is keen on staying at the Wanda Metropolitano, and he will try to negotiate a new deal with a higher release clause at the Spanish capital. That is all from my end, Godwin Akena. A lovely weekend to all our listeners, and it's over to you for the rest of the show today.
Thank you, Solomon Adivre. He's done another beautiful job. This time, let's talk to the man of the year, Silverbird Man of the Year. Award richly deserved. Who am I talking about? He started out as just making people laugh. Today is a big-time businessman. That part he will not tell you. The grandfather of comedy in Nigeria. You call him simply Ali Baba. He's an Arsenal fan, and this is not the best time for you to mock an Arsenal fan. What you get in return, you may not like it at all. But anyway, it is well with us now. Welcome to the show, Ali Baba.
Thank you so much, Goddy. Thank you so much. We're mourning, but our eyes are still open and clear.
again, what is wrong with Arsenal? A few weeks ago, it was Arteta is the Messiah that we'll be waiting for.
No, I think Arteta is beginning to forget to, when they say the broom that was used to sweep away the first wife, will be used to sweep away the second wife if care is not taken. Our substitutions are coming too late. And I played football for Epoma. I played for Anabraka, and all the times that we used to play football, if there's anybody that is messing up on the field and the coach does not change it, it kills the morale for everyone after. Because the thing is that back then you have roving midfielder, attacking midfielder, and all of that, not wingers and the rest of them. But these days, if every midfielder is feeding a winger balls and the person is messing up the balls, it kills the morale of the person who is feeding that person. So our late changes, our substitutions, and failure to finish good. You can't be paid world-class fees as a finisher, as an attacker, and you're not finishing good.
Ali Baba, are you saying that the problem is that of the players, not coaching right now?
Oh, no. It's not part of it, because the coach should have seen those issues. When a coach watches, okay, you can coach the people, but when you get to the field and you're not seeing the things that you taught them play out, you change them. You can't believe it. Look at the defense. They pull out from the right. And the ball lands, and you're playing offside tactics, and you see that the ball has crossed, and you let the person still get to the ball at dying minutes. These are things that you don't let happen. 70th minute substitutions, it kills games.
So the coach is not good enough.
No. It's not that the coach is not good enough. The coach is not responding to, because a lot of players, you see somebody like Ozil. Okay, no. Let me even go outside Arsenal players. Let me even talk about somebody like a Pogba. You know he can distribute passes. Anybody that can distribute passes will refuse to distribute passes if the passes he distributes are not properly finished. It's a given. I keep giving you balls. I keep seeing how you are missing the balls. That is for the player.
So what is the way out?
The player it's for us to begin to respond to players that are not delivering well. Lacazette is not finishing as he should.
So sell him?
Of course, we need to tell him. Lacazette is not finishing as he should. We should have finishers that you can trust that if this ball gets to this guy, he'll bury.
Let me ask a question. Ali Baba, before an Arsenal game, how do you prepare? Getting ready to be in front of the television if you are not at the Emirates?
Well, what we just look at is, first of all, these days, with us at the 9th position. In fact, we're lucky that we're 9th position. We're not even looking at qualifying for Europa this year as it is, because so every time I watch the match now, it's like, let's wait for next season. Truly, that's how I prepare for match. Yes, I just say let's wait for next season, or let's wait. We should have. I know a lot of people would have said, "Oh, why?" We should have picked up Mourinho before anybody.
Wow, you prefer Mourinho?
Wait, we should have. Okay, do you remember what's his name now? Trying to get the guy that we lost, Yan Kuto.
Okay.
5 million. We should have picked him up with 5 million. We did not. Man City picked him up. 5 million. Meanwhile, we're paying this Akamu, Pepe, Omalata. We're paying him 72 million. Why not trade him up to somebody for like half that price and get like 4 more people at 5 million?
At the end of every game, you prepare. For you now is each time you're watching an Arsenal game, before the game starts, it's like, okay, we are preparing for next season. When the game ends the way you expected it, that's in defeat. How do you mourn your defeat?
No, I don't mourn my defeat. I just feel, why cry over spilled milk? You know, if it is that we were playing as good as, and I'm serious now, if we're playing as good as Watford, or we're playing as good as Leicester, or we're playing as good as Man City, some of the misses and losses will be paining me. But we're not doing good this season.
Ali Baba, let's make you the coach of Arsenal Football Club. what would you have done if let's assume you are qualified to coach Arsenal today. What would you do to take that team to the Arsenal we used to know?
I first will find very qualified defenders. Like, you know, one of his defenders that brought us down to our days was Manchester. That guy he couldn't even play defense in basketball. Talk less of you're play. Okay, let me tell you what. These days, the attackers are very fast, so you don't need slow defenders. You know, the days of bang, slam, goal poachers, the people who play like Yakini, it's gone. The attackers you have these days are the ones that will dribble anything and have speed. Look at Verdi's speed. A slow attacker like Metaseka can't get it. So what you need to do is get young or agile or faster defenders to match those boys. You don't need a defender that boys are breaking away from and they can't catch up. And the other thing they have is to pull the person down to get a free kick or cost penalty. So if I were to take over Arsenal today, first thing I would do is get some 5 defenders. So I put 3 in the field all the time and put 2 on standby. When you are playing at this kind of time, at 70 minutes or 112 minutes, 113 minutes, it is not the time to substitute people who do not add value. You bring defenders that can lock down the defender. Defenders that hold any time the person, any attacker, the person is there. In fact, it frustrates the living daylight out of that attacker.
Now, Ali Baba, tell us, how long have you been following Arsenal, and why did you fall in love with Arsenal? And will this love last forever, or at some point you might just say enough is enough?
I followed Arsenal in 1978 because just like most barrack boys, a lot of military boys at the time, a lot of them were just head of Arsenal, and because it had to do with guns, weaponry, and all of that stuff. So a lot of military people followed them. So from Mojo Cantonment, we started following Arsenal. And before Premiership started, a lot of people now started following Arsenal because when Arsenal became a Premiership club, we were following them at the time. But then we had uncles who were proof takers. And we killed Moonborn. Okay, Godwin, you remember Moonborn now?
Yes, sir.
Moonborn pools. So you followed the uncles then, and they continued to mention to you. So they'll call the names of the players, and then when any of them came back and brought jerseys that were sponsored by Philips, by JDC, by all those old sponsors. So you kind of had a sense of, okay, I think
this is the club.
This is a club to belong to. And so we joined by association at the time. You understand? We joined by association, and now one is beginning to wonder, did we get it wrong? Because our players are, I don't understand.
Ali Baba, if you were to trade Arsenal for another club, what club would that be?
Barcelona, the country. But if it's in the Premiership, I think I'm beginning to like Watford.
Why?
Well, they have maybe some black players that I like, and the fact that anytime they go up against anything, they don't go up like these are very professional, but we are young. They go up like we're equals. I like that drive.
Okay.
I like that drive.
Ali Baba, once again, I say congratulations on your award as Man of the Year, the Silverbird Award.
Thank you. I hope Tony Adams will not cry just thinking about what is happening to Arsenal right now. But we thank God.
The voice of Ali Baba, the grandmaster of comedy in Nigeria, talking to us. He's an Arsenal fan, and just like most Arsenal fans that I know, it is lamentation. They keep opening that book. When will Arsenal turn the corners? Let's keep our fingers crossed. My name is Godwin Enakna. Last edition for the week, Global Sports Update. God bless Nigeria.
We hear of these words every day. never lie, cheat, steal, or drink. What? If you must lie, lie in the hands of the one you love. If you must steal away from bad company. If you must cheat death.
And if you must drink in the moments that take your breath away. Remember, happiness is free. Don't be a fool. Proudly brought to you by Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
That is why it has been very difficult for strikers in the Nigerian Professional Football League to break Ufon Udo's record. What the rain
Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. What you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at in this world of fear. I can see the path that leads away. Mama never left and daddy needs me here. I wish the wind would carry a change. Looking through the window to a world of dreams, I can see my future slip away. chance begin to fade. One step forward and two back again. I wish the wind would carry a change. I've had enough. I'm standing up. I need a change. I've had enough. I'm chasing love. I need a change. I'm setting fire to the life that I know. Let's start a fire everywhere that we go. We're starting fires till the lives are burning gold. Till the lives are burning Looking back, I see I had the flame in me. I'm the wind that's carrying change. I've had enough. I'm chasing love. I need a change. I'm setting fire to the life that I know. Let's start a fire everywhere that we go. We're starting fires till the lives are burning
How do you mourn your defeat?
No, I don't mourn my defeat.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but how your bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Cut me down, but it's you who have further to fall. Ghost town, haunted love. Raise your voice, sticks and stones may break my bones. Talking loud, not saying much.
Yeah, we're all talking loud, but we are not saying much. Even if we're saying much, we hope that those in charge of bringing about positive change listen to the much we are saying and bring about a positive change in Nigeria. Good evening to you. Welcome to Chatterbox on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. I am Butchira for Buluwatife Jagada is here with me in the studio. She has been feeling her groove, and it's actually really interesting to see Buluwatife pick up a remote and starts acting like a musician and moving all around.
Yeah, I like the music thing and the fact that I was seeing one. It's not. it's a musical show. It's all this like American show, but then they do it the voice. I think a lot of people must have listened to it or must have watched it. So or watch it. It happens season by season. Different people come into it. So I was looking at it this night, and then I was seeing a lot of
that was the inspiration.
talented people, and I'm like, Bolu, see something, and then
But why are you not singing?
Not really. I know that.
But why are you not acting like them?
Why am I not acting like
so
them?
was that why you picked up the remote and started?
I had a feeling I still had some of those things in me, Yeah, my voice is very bad nowadays. So, but then I had a feeling that you got it inside of you. So just show it up.
All right, well, that's my first word story for the evening. Oluwatife is presenting in the studio with nobody watching, just me here listening to the song, and Bulu. I don't know what Bulu was doing, but well, at least she got me to start singing along. So that's really weird, but it's fine. It's Chatterbox. That's why we are here to talk about weird things happening in our community. I actually, a friend of mine, like my really big fans, they're my friends, but they mean like everything to me. They always want me to progress in everything I do. I have wonderful friends, you guys. But by the way, back to what I was saying. They actually shared a story with me, and there's this book. I don't know. I found it really weird, and I thought I should just share it with us on Chatterbox. There's this book called what's the name of that book again? The Eyes of Darkness. So in this particular book, The Eyes of Darkness, the writer is what's his name? Dean Koontz. And he wrote about a virus, a killer virus named Wuhan 400. Where is coronavirus from? China. From where?
China.
Wuhan in China. But it's coronavirus, COVID-19. In his book, and the book was written long time ago. I think sometime around 1980 something.
And probably you saw the vision of coronavirus.
Yeah, some persons say, well, maybe he saw a vision, because he said this virus, the virus was developed as one bioweapon or something, and then it emerged in the Chinese city in December 2000. If you read the book, I haven't read the book, but at least I've been seeing stories, and I went online and I searched for it, and I really found that really weird. Like, did he see the future?
It is weird.
Did something happen?
A lot of things can be related to the past from what people said. Because I could remember that, one of my courses in university, like there was something about the global village, the world being a village, a village, being a global village, and then it was somebody who just said it one time. It was like he saw a vision one time, and then
long
time ago, and then the world is a global village right now.
I feel there are some things you can predict in the year 20. You know that different kind of virus comes up. I can just wake up one day and write a book that in the year 2060 one virus will come from somewhere. In fact, the books I will write one for one country, one for another country. So anyone that works, they should remember me that I wrote a book.
No, I don't think it will work like that, because his own it's more like a coincidence. It was more like the thing was accurate.
It was almost
like
no, it's not accurate though, but it was almost
accurate. Like it's Wuhan, it's China,
and it's something that was spread around the globe, and it affects people. And some even said in some parts of the book, I haven't read the book, but based on what so many persons have been saying, and since it's Chatterbox, like I said, I really find it pretty weird. Some said that it will come, one virus will come, and then that virus will go, and then it will come back again. And then some persons will say, it's Ebola that came back again in a different dimension with a different pattern and all that stuff. But well, it's Chatterbox. Welcome. Today 95.1 FM 0817 0000951 or 0810951091. Call in and share your weird story, your weird reactions, and we're still on Today's Woman. We're talking about women issues and how how angered some women are and the kind of things they do to their husbands. So, in light of that, on Chatterbox, we'd love to hear those very weird things you think women do. It's not necessarily things that are disastrous or hazardous or things that really regards killing or murdering someone and the rest of it. But I love to start my own weird story for weird things that women do based on what I talked about also on today's one. Women boiling used sanitary pad, filtering it and drinking
Not
the
all,
liquid.
Not all women.
I find
because
some women,
I can-
women.
Like you noticed that while we were on the show, like I was doing my nose, like maybe something was smelling because the thing was really, really irritating.
It's really irritating.
So it's not all women. We can just say that some women do that.
Yeah, of
so-
course, it's not all
like
women.
It's just like a little percentage of women just do that.
Yeah, the same way some percentage of women. This is other thing women do that I think I do it at times, but it's not something I exactly like. Oh,
No, that yours is not.
that's weird.
Yours is not
Okay,
sounding
make
sexy.
it sound like they do. How is that now sexy? Jesus, did I draw it that long? You see why I don't like that, and I find that thing really weird. I do it at times, yeah, but I don't get mine. Is not as long. I just like sorry, I'm so sorry. Sounds like that, but people drag it and it sounds weird in my ear. And then there's also something else. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, it's
For
not like that
real?
thing. It's
For
not
real?
like. Are you kidding me? No,
Are you
it's
kidding me
not
right
like,
now?
See, it's not like these things are bad. That like the words they are using or how they combine in is bad. It's just how some ladies do it. I really find very weird. Like. This guy just said something like, "Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh! Yeah, right. Everything at once. What is wrong with
And
you?"
of course, it sounds really nice. The way you said it right now, it just sounded really nice.
No, it's not nice. It shouldn't sound nice in my mouth
It's
right now
nice.
because it's actually part of the weird things I think women do. That I find some when you hear it from some persons. It sounds so sweet and wonderful. Like it's something you would want to do. Like you want, but when you hear it from some other ladies, you just be wondering what is happening. Sure, you are okay.
They're definitely okay. And
so, what are the weird things women do that you find things women do you find weird?
of course, it's the year right kind of thing, but it's not. It's
you
not
find
weird.
that weird too?
It's not weird to me. It's not really weird to me. It's just, the way some people do the attitude, the eyes, the
right.
like they will spread
For something
they
that's-
will put the eyes like no, they're like frogs.
Oh no, don't do that. Please.
So that's the
It's
weird
just how
part of
some
it.
ladies bring it out. Well, that's what we find weird. I find it weird. Bolu also finds it weird. I don't know if you find that weird. But I also find it weird that's okay. I think I'm guilty of this one. I've done it before. Jesus, I can't talk about it. I've done it before. And I'll feel terrible about. Okay, it's just once this thing happened to me. And okay, the person that brought my attention to this thing was actually Trace, Andrew. We were walking and it was a lady that wore something very short, like really short. And she just kept dragging it down, pulling it down. And it was like, if you're wearing this thing, you know this thing was short in the first place and you went ahead to wear it. So why are you pulling it down? Enjoy it short. You wear it short and keep walking like that. If you know you won't be comfortable and you know it's something that is always pulling itself up and you know it will get very short that you'll be uncomfortable, instead of just embarrassing yourself, always try. Like you want to make one full step, you drag it down. Another step, you drag it down. And then when he said it, I actually saw sense in what he said. But I couldn't say much because I've done something like that before. Like I wore something, I wasn't so comfortable. I felt I was comfortable.
I think
every woman has experienced
every woman
it, right?
would have experienced it, because there's sometimes that these clothes are very deceiving. Like they will look like, oh, they are perfectly
Yeah, then when
fit.
you start
you
walking,
walk around you will
still-
walk
it just
around
keeps
your
going-
room.
Yeah,
everything is perfect. And then the next thing you're like, okay, let me step out, and then you step out and you're out already, and you're like, let
while
me
you're
climb
walking,
this
it just
step.
keeps pulling up.
Oh my
even
god!
when you're not climbing a staircase
Even
or
if
something,
even
you're just
trousers
walking.
do like that. Even some trousers do like that.
No, you should go and check the kind of trouser. Where did you buy the trouser from? What is wrong with you?
I have one particular trouser like that.
But where did you get it?
That
from?
one,
This is
like,
weird.
it's tight on the leg. But then, like, normally when I do my leg, like, okay, I'll just bend my legs a little bit, and I'll be like, this thing is okay now. And then they'll get outside, let me climb something like this. So they'll be like, we'll just hang. You just be like, okay, you have to be careful. Don't let this thing go and tear. That kind of thing. You have to be very careful. But then things like that happen. But of course, we cannot just talk about women, though. We can also talk about men, weird things men do. And I think we'll be able to talk about it more because we are ladies.
Well, I know, but I really would love to hear others share some weird things women do that they don't like. But since Boluwatife said, well, let's include men. Let's not. It's not today's woman, so we can't make it strictly women. Let's talk about weird things people do, men, women. I told you, I said that I don't like the right. Bolu said the drag it. I find that really weird, especially with the kind of attitude they attack. So for some persons, it's really sexy. It's really beautiful. Like when I see some girls, like Naomi. I'm sorry, I'm calling names so much. When Naomi does stuff like this, I'll be like, wow, I wish I can learn this. And at times, once in a while, it comes out of my mouth. But the way some ladies do it, I really find it weird. And I'll be like, who now teach this one now? Who taught you this? If this are the person that taught you this, or whoever you saw doing this, if this was how they did it, would you like it, you by yourself? Well, let's hear from you. What are those weird things? For guys, since you said we should talk about guys, what are those weird things some guys do that you don't like? Okay. You don't like guys that do this?
Hello, baby.
Well, what's up with you tonight? I think that thing you watch is really, it really got to you.
Oh, Lord. It can be very, very funny. And some of them are like...
You find that weird?
I find it very, very weird and very, very funny. Because, I don't know, it's weird. Like, are you calling a fly? Are you trying to chase a fly?
Oh my God.
Like, who does that? So that kind of thing is like very, very weird.
You see, this thing you just did, I also find it weird. Like, who does that? Like, what? I'm sorry. Some people say I have an old soul. But my soul is just old, and I like it old and weird like that. What does these girls do? I find them weird. I really find them weird. Okay, initially I was finding this, like, when you talk, you'll be like, you talk one, you say like, you talk two, you say like. Well, I don't know, somehow I just got used to it. Unfortunately, I'm part of those things, and I do those weird things as well. But let's hear from you. Apart from this, what else?
And they have this movement and this kind of, they have this funny way of talking, basically, like
guys in general, or just some
guys, they are like, you know, like unsuccessful comedians, like,
oh Jesus,
they just want to be funny by all means.
Oh Jesus, but that was harsh. Jeez.
It's really
that
weird.
Was harsh.
That can be really, really weird. You know, some people can just talk for Africa, they can just be very, very weird while talking.
So you find it weird when some guys are trying to be funny and they're actually not funny.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very weird and annoying.
You ash. You ash.
You know, I've had an encounter with somebody who, when he talks, won't allow anybody else to talk. And when he talks, all he talks about does not make sense. And you're like, guy, let me break it. Let me look for a perspective of this thing that will make sense. And then I'll be able to relate to it. But no. One time my friend just left me with the person, and then the person came out. No, my friend went out, and this person more likes my friend. And then he just came, and I was at home. And when he came, I was like, oh, hi, welcome.
Is something that happened of recent?
Like, not very recent. And then the next thing, I was like, okay, hi, welcome. The person started talking, started disturbing me with the talks and everything, and I ate it. Next thing, I just took him to where my friend was. You're welcome. Take your thing. Continue talking in peace. And he got there, he started acting his drama, started talking right there and there with the person that the friend was with. It was funny. Like, I can't cope. Like, that, those kind of people, I find it really weird. They are really talkative. Those people that you will see somewhere, you will run.
Oh, Jesus.
Not because you owe them anything, but because you know that if you stay there, they're going to kill you with talk. So you have to run. So it's really weird. I find it really, really weird.
Okay. Yeah, Ash. For real.
I'm not Ash. What did I do?
All right, it's 0817000951 or 0810951091. Let's hear from you. What are those weird things, both male and female, what they do, those things you find really weird, and you really can't stand it, like Bulu can't stand some unsuccessful comedians at 5.1 FM. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost your call. Do also call back. Let's get your wedge story as well. You could also share your wedge story with us, but you could also contribute to what we're talking on. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Miracle, it's good to hear from you tonight. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to talk about women. You know, some women, me too, I used to do that.
What's
Maybe
that?
somebody will talk to you. When somebody talks to you, don't want to talk to them. You just try, eh? You just do like long one, like. The thing is to say.
You don't even know how to do that thing.
I don't know how to do it.
It doesn't last in my mouth.
It doesn't last in my mouth.
It doesn't last. No, but you know the funny part is that when you're trying to do it, like now we're talking about it. Now she just made mention of it. You might not be able to get it right, but when you get upset over something, it will come out very well. Yeah, you just did it now. She said she finds that weird. Do I find that weird? Not really. I don't find it weird. She finds it weird.
She finds it weird, but then I don't really find it weird because I feel like it's one of those normal things that everybody does.
Well,
especially
it's not
ladies,
normal. It's just like you find that, yeah, right. Normal. I feel
Most
like I would say
ladies
that.
do-
I feel like I would say this, yeah, right, before we are done with this program. When I don't need to say it, I'll just say it, just like many of us do, which is really weird.
But
we do it anyway.
I think most ladies do. Most ladies.
No, I don't do that.
You don't do that.
No,
and,
I don't.
And you know the theory behind this thing. People say that when you do that a lot, like it dries your blood.
Oh, Jesus.
And that is what I find weird.
It dries your blood?
Yeah, they say when you do it too much, like when you eat too much, like.
Probably tomorrow I'll just use all through the day to ease everything I want to.
Then you lost, you might not. And it's not like you have 1 ounce of blood in your body. No, the whole thing won't dry like that.
Please,
but then you have
as
to do
someone
it
said that to you, that whenever you lose some certain amount of blood in your body. Just let us know. I don't know how true that is a complete lie. From wherever it's coming from. But if you believe in it, and if you find it, if you think it's true, please let's know. Well, if you find that weird as well, let's know as well. Like I said, the number is 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510951. Let's get your weird story. You could also talk to us about the weird things ladies do and guys as well. The weird things they do. You find it pretty weird. Let's hear from you. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, my name is Ikebron.
It's good to hear from you tonight.
Yeah, thank you. How you guys doing?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. You see, like what you were trying to explain, the book about what do you call it again, 400 or whatever.
One.
400, yes. It's actually true. Somebody has shown me the book. I just thought of it, and we were just discussing it this evening before you made mention of it. And I learned the story was to at a point when the population is too much, they use it to reduce the population in China. That was what. But the weird part of it here is that it hasn't killed any black man before, so it was meant for a particular skin.
That's according to that book.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now let's leave the book out of the discussion for now. Let's hear your weird story. What are those weird things ladies do that you and guys as well?
Things the girls do.
Yeah, that you find weird.
The eyelash.
You find the eyelash weird?
It's some very long, oh my God. Nope, I don't like that at all. I don't like seeing. They look like all this karachika thing we used to watch.
So you don't like it?
I don't think I can sleep and wake up with a lady with such things.
Oh my God.
She would thought to
all
bed.
right, thank you so much. No, but what he said, there's sense in what he said.
Yeah,
I went to what they call this places where they sell hair, cosmetic shop, and the lashes I saw, I was not like, sister, who wears this one? You see, for what do they use this one for? She said, that's the one that's even selling more now. As if you see the thing, see where my eyes is right now. To where this mic is. Look at Bolu. I'll take you to that place. Somewhere around Ikoko.
It's not possible.
I passed there today. I even went there today. I saw the lashes today.
No, it can't be that
Jesus,
long.
so you won't believe me. It was that long.
It can't be that long.
I don't know what I'm saying again. Oh, you think I'm exaggerating? Don't worry. We'll come back here on Chatterbox. I'll take Bodu to that place, and then you will see what I'm talking about. It was so long.
But then I don't know why some people find eyelashes weird. But then I feel like some people, I know a lot of people.
No, we don't
find
find eyelashes like fixing it like an attachment to your lashes weird. But the length at which, like, you're blinking your eyes like you're finding somebody. Like this. 95.1 FM.
Oh,
good evening. Hello, good evening. Oh, I'm sorry. Please do want to call back. Let's hear those things you find weird in ladies and guys. I find guys that some guys that it's not like you shouldn't bounce.
No, some haircut actually too.
Jesus, please let's not go there. What did a woman of God say?
Moro.
Moro and Jean. Baggy jean. What I actually find weird is, okay, well, some haircuts are weird. I saw, well, it's not so weird though. But you know, there are some style you see on some persons, you really appreciate it. But when you see on others, you wonder what exactly is happening. There's this dread that some guys do, standing, like it's just standing on its own. I saw it on one guy, and I was like, oh, this guy is cute with this kind of dread. Omo, when did I see this other one say? Sometime this week. I was like, Kashi, you're okay. Brother, share everything is well. What's the problem? I didn't say it to him. I was saying this to the person I was in the car with, like, Sha, this guy is okay. Hope this boy is fine, Sha.
Hope everyone is well at home.
That hairstyle was something else. And then the other thing in guys I find weird is some walking step they do. Like, they are cringing. I don't know. Can you see? I don't know how to explain, but do you get how I'm saying?
A lot of the ribs.
A lot of the ribs. It's like they are guiding, they are shielding their ribs. Their shoulder is held up high.
Yeah,
like
I get
they
that
are cringing. Their shoulder, yeah, like that. And then they're now curved somehow, and it's not like they're. And it's not like they're bouncing. I mean, like, what is this now? Just walk normal.
It's a style. You should not have more.
I think I feel.
You should have more.
95.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
My name is Sabara. I'm calling from Ava.
All right, go ahead. Good to hear from you.
Yes. For me, it's always wear when a lady or a girl wears a short skirt, sits down and use a hanky to cover her knees. It pains me. It makes everybody around her a culprit. And I hate it.
Oh my God.
For a man dating, a man that cannot stay and keep his hands, you will just be moving the hand from pockets to just all those things pains me a lot.
Oh my God, you notice things a lot. You're so observant. Jesus, that's nice. Do you find that weird? You sit down and then you use handkerchief to cover your legs.
I won't say I find it weird, but then if I look at it logically, I'll just look at you like, auntie, sure you could know that this thing is small. Why did you now wear it? Why did you not bring a handkerchief? Why did you not forget the handkerchief at home and just come like that?
You know why I'm scared of saying anything? Because I've actually done this before. So you find me weird. I've done it before. I wasn't uncomfortable. It was just that it was to a religious kind of place. And I wasn't feeling uncomfortable at all. It's just that Momsi said, covered your legs more now. People will be feeling somehow like, I was not like, okay, but I don't have anything to cover. She then brought out her hanky and I covered. No, it's not a freaky level. We haven't gotten to the freaky level. But I've done that before. And well, to you and many others that find that weird, I apologize on behalf of my nation, myself and the rest of us that have covered our legs with handkerchief before. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I lost that one. But I do find it, I don't do that very often. No, I think it's just twice or once I've done that before. But I'll say that.
Before?
Have you done it before?
If I have, maybe once.
Me, I know I've done it before. 95.1 FM. Good evening. I lost this one, so I don't know what's up with the lines. But it's still 0817 0000951 or 0810951091. Let's hear where things people do. Men, women, that you find really cringing at, you cringe at what they do and you find it weird, or maybe you find it upsetting as well. But he's like, I've done so many things that upsets people. What was the first one again? Pulling skirts down. Well, that I did just once and I never did it again. Like I didn't wear that skirt again.
I know that one must have happened like 2 or 3 times to me.
It happened. I think it's happened to most ladies. 95.1 FM.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Chidi.
All right, go ahead.
Well, the one I can observe, discussing with a lady and you claim you don't understand. I will discuss, you say you don't understand.
She does not understand. I don't understand. She does not understand.
What you're supposed to understand, are you a kid? Are you your brain, is it duffy?
So is that how you feel when you hear them say I don't understand?
No, you don't understand.
That is exactly what I hate about guys. I hate the fact that they mention, are you a kid? It is weird. Are you a kid is weird.
And another one is when a woman is, you know that this thing we wear is not comfortable. You just drag.
Well, that I can actually make an excuse for most of us because
sometimes that one is true and they're tired, I don't know. Sometimes they will drag it, small time they will drag it again, sometimes drag it. And what is the problem?
No, for that one, I can actually make an excuse, like I said. For me personally, I've done it like once, yeah. It's because when you try these things at home, they seem very comfortable. You walk around your room and it feels okay, and then when you go out, you're walking like a distance. Farther than walking within your room. No, there's some clothes that they just start pulling up on their own. When you wear it initially, it doesn't pull up. Like when you now go outside, you're walking a distance farther than what you do in your room.
It's going up, and you still wear it. Tomorrow you still wear it. You begin to drag it. Tomorrow you still wear it.
Maybe she thought that she had already lost weight. Maybe she thought she had lost weight.
I don't understand things. It's like a slang that people do. Even some guys do that as well. It's not just follow has done it again.
Of course. And one thing I
think
find
they
weird,
actually
guys.
do it. They actually do it to express like what exactly is wrong. Like, why would you do that? That's why some persons use like, I don't understand. What are you saying? What is the I don't understand. And stuff like that. I actually got used to this.
The way I say my own is I don't understand. Cause why would you be talking? I don't understand.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Good evening.
95.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening to Tiambali.
Good evening to you.
From Omagua.
Good to hear from you. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm just happy. I'm just calling to appreciate your program and also to let you know that something I find so well and I don't enjoy it. Most ladies, when you dress at home, kind of hair you make, knowing that you're entering public car, the next person close to you will be your comfortable. It annoys me so much.
So you'll be.
So the next person close to you become uncomfortable. After I said, like, a day the hair entered my mouth, I was so
That's wonderful.
Oh my Jesus.
I was so angry. But I can't just let it out. There's nothing I can do. And before you talk one, you may Jesus. Then I reply you just know that what is the business, what is the what
Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I think you pack your head to that the next person to you.
It's not the person's fault. Actually, I can relate.
My brother, I can't say anything about that. It's not my fault. It's the breeze. I made my fine hair. It's the breeze that is carrying it to your face.
What should you do about it? So you should pack the hair. When you now get down from the car, you will now untie the hair and you now leave it down again.
Especially when you didn't carry, or you purposely made the hair to look fly, like breeze is blowing and then you're feeling all fly.
But then you're eating the hair, sorry. You've helped a ministry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
This is Victor.
Hi, Victor.
Yes. I wanted to ask about one of your callers like that. I used to, each time he calls you, the way both of you talk, I used to enjoy it. But it's been a long time he called you.
Okay.
What is his name? Iwo Broma.
Okay.
It's been a long time he called you.
Okay. I think you hear from Iwa Broma more on Air Talk.
Okay. Okay. All right. No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. If Iwa Broma is listening, he will feel really, I'm sure he appreciates that you're checking up on him. And 5.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Destiny is my name. I'm calling from Woji.
You're welcome, Destiny. Go ahead.
What about the women that are pregnant wearing tight trousers? That one is not weird.
You find that weird?
Look at it yourself.
What if that is what the baby wants?
What if they feel comfortable in that at that point in time, actually?
The baby wants to wear a tight trouser, so.
I like that you're defending women. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. But do you find that weird?
I don't really find it weird because I know that the mood of pregnant women change every now and then.
I don't find that weird at all.
At some point, they might feel like wearing very long things, baggy things. At some point, they feel like wearing tight tops. Like they can
however they feel, it's not really the issue. Or maybe what you would say is that they wear leggings and very short top, and then all their bodies just looking somehow. Maybe that I can understand, but wearing leggings with a long, like a gown kind of top, nah, I don't find that weird.
You said tight stuff, like tight jean, tight trousers.
Leggings, yeah.
It's not just
Well,
weddings
I
now.
actually don't find that weird though. It's just people dressing however they feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
But if you find that weird, that's really interesting. So you take your time to look at pregnant women with the kind of leggings they wear. Really interesting. Let's hear others and what you find weird about women. And guys as well. I don't know why ladies are now calling to find what they find weird in guys. It's 0817 951 or 0810 9510 951 at 5.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you.
This is Martin calling from Woji.
You're welcome, Martins.
Happy weekend to you guys.
You too.
Same here.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. One of the things I find weird with ladies, when you tie your gele as if you're going to enter private vehicle, not knowing that you're going to enter public, and you make everybody begin to bend their head as if make them very uncomfortable. That is not proper. And then the other one, when you're talking to a lady, the next thing you hear is door, you can talk to my fingers. I think which one this was again now.
Oh, Lord.
Can you
What did
imagine? Can
you
you
didn't let
imagine?
me hear that. Sorry, please repeat what you
The
said.
door, talk to the fingers.
Yeah.
And then and then for guys,
Yeah.
some time ago, it took me some years before I traveled home. And when I traveled home this time around, I met a guy. The guy came to me and said, Matos, how far? We shook hands. How is Port Harcourt? I said, Port Harcourt is fine. We shook hands. He said, guy, you're looking so where you working? We shook hands. Before I was counting, before he left me, we ended up shaking hands like 53 times. I said, which kind of face this one now? So these are some of the things.
Oh, my God.
And then the other one is, I'm a football fan, and sometimes when you go to where you're going to enjoy a football match, and then most of those people who have played their games and they're expecting this to play like this, and you just enter, you just be hearing noise. But immediately that first match, the whole match, the people they will be expecting to score, to win or to do this, once the match just ends and nothing happened, all the noise they've been making from morning till evening, the thing will just, in that 1 minute, they will just keep quiet. You'll be asking her what happened. Everybody say, one game, so remaining one, or I've made 15 million. I say, look at you. And you want to use 100 naira to win 50 million. That's not business. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for God. Door, talk to the fingers.
Door. Talk to my fingers.
No, that
Why?
one is really weird. I think this particular one is weirder than any other one I made mention of. Like,
The one I just did right now.
This is a complete turn off for me. Completely. Like, you turned me off. 95.1 FM.
You
Good
will
evening.
turn on.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Thank you. I love your program. Wow, it's very, very wonderful.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
What really gets me worried because it's sometimes when I'm going out for maybe an evangelism, I'll talk to ladies. I might call sisters. I say, please excuse me, I want to share something with them. They might think that, maybe I want to ask them out. Sometimes it gets me upset. Just excuse me, I want to talk to you about something. I want to share some word of God with you.
You want
They
to
will
share the
just-
word of God?
Yes. So some of them, or in case you want to ask them for maybe a location or an address. For
And then they
something, will
start
just
feeling
look-
like you want to ask them out. Are you there?
Hello.
Okay, I think we lost
We
you.
got- we got
Please,
some
you
message
can do
too.
well to call back if you can.
But then
I'm allowed to defend women in this.
That one is like a normal thing. It kind of happen.
It happens, but I think
the approach also matters. The approach determines how, and then the way the person looks too. The way the person looks.
No.
Oh,
I think he's very much correct.
He's correct.
Because
it's correct.
And I also find that appalling. I think this is almost similar to what we talked about last week on Today's Woman, where girls just see guys as a ticket to free lunch, free dinner, free breakfast, free outing, free car, free ride, free goat meat, and the rest of it. Like when a guy walks up to you, like, hello sister, hello, please excuse me. The next thing that's in your mind is that this guy wants to ask me out. Why is he even doing like this? He's even excusing me, sister. My brother wants to share the word of God with you.
The word of God. Okay, that is one thing too. Sometimes when you realize that that is what you're coming for.
Oh my god.
They also give attitude like that. So it's not only because you want to ask them out. Sometimes some people do that. Like some people just knock on doors a lot.
And some persons actually want you to ask them out, and then you'll be asking them for a street direction. Share they are the geography of the streets. 95.1 They are Google
map.
You want to Google them to get to where you are going to.
Walking encyclopedia map.
Oh my word. So really, you guys get upset with ladies doing things like this.
The hair on is the funny one to me.
No, that hair on, you cannot take it away. Like, I finished dressing in my house, brush my hair.
Don't you know that
knowing fully well that the breeze will blow it, and when the breeze blows, it's like I'll be feeling fly, like I'm in a movie.
Angel.
No, like it hasn't happened to you before.
Angelina.
Like the breeze is blowing and your hair is flying, and then there's a scene in a particular movie you just remember.
Like Indian movies particularly.
And then you just imagine yourself being that person with the breeze, and one brother is in one corner saying you're disturbing his face. 95.1 FM.
What's wrong with the phone lines?
It's 0817-00951. Let's hear what you find weird in ladies and guys. And yeah, that thing of shaking, I've seen some, not as much as this guy explained, but I've seen guys that they just keep shaking. They ask you one question, hey my guy, what's up, my niggy? And then they shake, and they offer that this and say yes.
Some people see you straight up, and then they have a nickname for you.
Oh Jesus, my dear friend Sammy.
They just call you. Oh, her name is Buchi, and Buchizi.
Actually, if I tell you the nicknames I have in this life, you'll feel sorry for me. Oh God, I can't start mentioning. But at least the one I know someone calls me right now is Botch. Like how many? They call me Botch. They call me Butch. Okay, one outside the Buchi name.
Butcher.
Jesus, now don't be like that. How can that be a nickname? 85.1 of them. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you.
I'm Chisa, calling from Abuja.
Good to hear from you. Go ahead.
Okay, what I find so very the ladies are probably maybe when you're asking again out, then maybe you invited her for a lunch somewhere, then she will not come with her friends.
Wonderful.
As in, it's really annoying. Like,
why is it annoying? You don't have money to spend. If you marry like, one person, you don't know you're marrying the community.
Because she doesn't know really how much you have in your pocket. Like, so you don't pack her friends and come like just to date, and it's very annoying.
It is not, even if she does not pack friends, you guys have issues. Even if she said, okay, let me bring one of my friends and come, I don't know you too much yet, don't go and kidnap me.
Okay, this is the thing.
They will not still accept.
No, here is the thing now. I feel that, sorry, I'd love to let you go, but I'm saying this because I do this. Like when I'm hanging out with someone, but the good part is that I always tell you, like, I'm coming with some friends. So
why won't you tell the person?
And then they'll be like, okay, that's fine. But when you don't tell the person that you're coming with your friends and then you just show up out of the blues with 5 of them, that's an issue. Brother, I give you permission to run. You cannot feed a generation. But then I like hanging out with my friends. Like, I like hanging out with my niggies. They're always there 247. Like, it just makes the hanging out very interesting. And if you're a guy and you want to hang out with me one-on-one, just know that me, I'll be very serious. So because I don't know you from anywhere. We're even if I know you were familiar, we're just gisting and chatting. I won't find it really. Well, if it's for official reasons, that's a different case. But like you're hanging out, want to have fun. I need people that I'm very familiar that will ginger me. Those people that will bring up my spirit like that. So, but I always tell, like, I'm coming with my friends. If you're cool, we're good. If you're not cool, then we try something else. We won't try that kind of hanging out. If I want to have fun, I want to have fun to the fullest, like that.
But it's not like coming with like 3 friends or 4 friends.
No, me, I'm telling. If you see that they
like
didn't tell you
much.
that they are coming, even if they come with an extra person,
Even if you
although
tell the person,
at times it's for security reasons.
Even if you tell the person that okay, I'm coming with 3 friends or 4 friends, does this sound well with you? Like, okay, you are the one, you are the one, you are one on your own. You now say, let me bring 3 extra friends. We are now 4. What are you doing? Family meeting?
See. If we are hanging out to have fun, you cannot take it away from me. I'll pack on my niggas and come on. Well, if it's for you spending, don't worry. We've got our money and we'll spend on ourselves. That's why I like my niggas. I don't know the kind of friends they bring out, but if it's the money, don't worry. I just need them around so we can have fun all together. But outside the issue of having fun, and you want to go and spend, brother, I give you permission. Just disappear. Just go. As soon as you see them, tell them that you guys are welcome. You can have a seat. Well, I have something else to do. And walk away, please. You cannot come and be feeding a generation. For what? 95.1 FM. Hello. All right, then. I'm sorry. I have to let you go there. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes. We need to hear from you on time so we can go for the world news.
I'm Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, welcome.
Sometimes I find it very weird when I sit close to someone and some of these unpleasant, very funny sound is coming from their mouth, like as if the person is speaking immediately. My God. Very weird, especially coming from a girl. Oh my goodness.
Why is it weird coming from a girl? You don't know these guys do it more, especially when they are chewing salad.
But when I'm sitting as I'm taking a girl out, what sound is
so she should start forming and being something that she's not, because you don't you self let me not answer you this night. What's up with you now? Shall we not eat my food well? 95.1 FM.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, this is Mike calling from Port Harcourt.
Good to hear from you, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay. One thing that gets me weird about when I'm around any girl is chewing gum. Yes.
That's actually offensive. It's not just weird. It's really offensive.
I don't like it, seriously. I just don't like it. I don't like you're talking with her, the next thing you hear is kind. I feel you know, the whole thing is very annoying. So because there was this girl I met, I was talking with her. And, yeah, she was giving me this attention, but all of a sudden, she brought her chewing gum right in my front. Since you chop more, it can seem so. But lately I saw a conversation. Next thing I saw it.
She got tired, brother. You said you should know that she's tired or she's bored.
Chewing gum is the motivation.
Thank you so much for calling in. Well, that's really offensive. Someone's talking to you and you're just chewing and jabbing your mouth there like that. Nah, I find that offensive.
You find it as offensive?
Yeah, it is
so if
offensive.
I've been chewing the gum before I start talking to you, I should remove it because I want to speak with you.
It's either you throw it away or you fix it somewhere by the side of your mouth and have the conversation you want to have. When you're done, when you're on your own, you can do it. Like my niggas now, if they are chewing gum with me, it's not a problem because we are very familiar. But someone else, I'm talking to you and try. But one very weird thing, I think this is me personally now. One weird thing about me is that, well, his music. I think that's really weird. Like, I always have earpiece glued to my ear, especially when I don't want to talk to anybody and I don't want anybody to talk to me. I just plug the earpiece in my ear, and if you like, call me Buchi, I will not. I might hear you. I'll still answer because
Same here.
I just don't want to talk.
That thing is golden.
And then I find it, that's weird, and that I feel that at times is rude, because they say it's courtesy when you're in the midst of people and you know you're going to have a conversation one way or the other. You shouldn't just plug your ear like that. It's courtesy.
But I don't want to talk at that moment where I have to be in the gathering. So
I don't want to talk.
To plug my hair.
I don't want to talk.
I got to plug my hair. I don't want to talk.
All right, we have to go. It's been Chatterbox. It's been pretty crazy, weird at the same time. It's hilarious as well. More of being hilarious so far. Bolu really made my night. And you also made my night. Thank you so much for being a part of Chatterbox. The world news is coming up next. Have a wonderful evening. I am of the school of thought that you enjoy every moment of your life. Be happy. Connect with those people, your loved ones, people that make you happy, while you're being motivated to go after your dreams. Stay happy, stay motivated, stay safe, most importantly.
And stay blessed. Buchi has a school of thought right now. Guys, that's weird.
You should come to my school.
Good night to you.
My school of thought is beautiful. Good evening and good night.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good evening, this is the World News in your Premium Talk Radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port. I am Bachira. For the headlines. Federal government received protocol from China as Nigeria confirms first case of coronavirus. PDP slams presidency for failing to prevent coronavirus from entering Nigeria. River State government dispels fears of coronavirus in River State. But on the foreign scene, acting White House Chief of Staff says United States media is fueling coronavirus panic to take down President Donald Trump. Now the details. The federal government says it has begun the process of tracing all those who have had contacted with a coronavirus-affected person who flew in from Milan, Italy. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage, made the disclosure while briefing newsmen in Abuja. Osage said the Port Health Service is working with the airline which the man came in with to trace all the passengers aboard the airline.
All those people who this man has been in touch with, backwards from the day he was admitted, and begin to go right back. The first point as a country, and remember we have always said that we suspect that by air is the most likely putative form of entry into this country, which turns out to be correct. And the first line of defense there is the Port Health Services. The Port Health Services will be working with the airline to get the passenger manifest and find out where exactly this gentleman was, and also where he sat, and also those who sat around him, and set up a monitoring system for all the passengers and the crew members of that particular flight in order to be able to get information to monitor their state of health within the next 14 days. And for that questioning of the gentleman, we also reveal where he was, where all he went. All we know now is that he came from Milan, where he was before. It doesn't seem that he ever was in China. It doesn't seem so.
The minister also assured that passengers coming into the country are properly screened at the airport in line with the recommendation of the World Health Organization.
So the question of quarantine, the World Health Organization advises everybody, all countries, that there is no need to put every single traveler into quarantine. There are some other countries who choose to do differently, but we follow the guidelines of the World Health Organization, which says that screen all persons who are entering your country, take their travel history. If they are coming from a country that has a high burden of the coronavirus, invite them for further questioning, take the details, give them a phone number to call you, take their own phone number, and advise them in the interest of their own family and friends to stay in self-isolation for 14 days and report any symptoms immediately. Not only that, if you do not call, we call you and find out how you are. And if you have any suspicious symptoms, we send an ambulance to get you. The ambulances are there. Our focus is on the 4 cities with functional international airport, Port Harcourt and Kano. Enugu airport has been closed. I understand it will open very soon, but we're also preparing for that possibility.
The case involves an Italian citizen who works in Nigeria and just returned from Milan, Italy on the 25th of February 2020. Was confirmed to be positive by the virology laboratory of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, part of the laboratory network of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. The minister, however, noted that the patient is clinically stable with no serious symptom and is being managed at the infectious disease hospital in Yaba, Lagos. Meanwhile, the federal government has said it did not quarantine travelers coming into the country following the recommendation of the World Health Organization, WHO. The Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Ehanire, said this while briefing newsmen in Abuja. This follows the outbreak of coronavirus in Lagos. Present at the briefing was the Minister of State for Health, Olorun Nimbe Mamora, and top officials of the Federal Ministry of Health. Dr. Ehanire said WHO had advised that there is no need for quarantine everybody, and Nigeria has decided to follow the guidelines. He also added that the United Nations Agency recommended that the newly arrived travelers should be advised to stay in isolation for 14 days. The Nigerian government says it has received a protocol from the Chinese government to treat persons infected with the novel coronavirus. The Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Hanire, disclosed this at news conference in Abuja. A minister explained that the government of China, where the first case of coronavirus was reported, has succeeded in treating over 5,000 people infected with the virus. He said the nation has received a lot of cooperation, including 2 visits from the ambassador of China to Nigeria to reassure Nigeria of his commitment and to give the country support in any way. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has slammed the presidency for failing to prevent the coronavirus from entering the country. In a statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olubode, and the PDP criticized President Buhari's administration for its carelessness and its response to mobilize effective surveillance and screening measures to deal with the virus. The party stated that the welfare of Nigerians should be highly placed, adding that Nigerians are now restricted in their movement. On his part, former Vice President and presidential candidate for the PDP 2019, Atiku Abubakar, has recommended that President Buhari cancel all flights from countries already affected by coronavirus. Atiku said Nigeria should fight the disease the way it fought the outbreak of Ebola virus in 2014. He and his Facebook post made reference to the possibility of the border closure enacted by President Buhari, as he said it would also not be difficult to stop flights coming in from countries affected by the coronavirus. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control has deployed its rapid response team to support the Lagos state government as the country records its first case of coronavirus. Director General of NCDC, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu, said that he has also escalated a multi-sectoral coronavirus preparedness group to an emergency operations center at level 2 to lead response activities. Ihekweazu said health facilities must remain on high alert while assuring Nigerians of their safety against COVID-19. He said Nigerians should frequently wash their hands, avoid touching eyes, nose, and mouth, practice respiratory hygiene, and that if anyone has fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, they should seek medical care early. The DG assured Nigerians that with appropriate information, treatment, and precaution, Nigeria will beat COVID-19 like Ebola. Meanwhile, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said that all public gathering would be cancelled if the coronavirus in the state escalates. Sanwo-Olu said this while briefing newsmen at the State House in Marina. The Lagos State Governor said that the state has not yet taken such step at this early stage of confirming the virus, as it would create unnecessary panic. He assured that the victim was being isolated at the state's biosecurity facility in the Yaba area of the state. The River State government has dismissed fears of coronavirus in River State. The prominent secretary in the Ministry of Health, Sonia Atata, made the clarification in a media briefing in Port Harcourt. Atata, however, said a multi-sectoral preparedness team has been established by the state government in case of any possible import of the virus to the state.
So far, And for the avoidance of that, there is no case of COVID-19 in River State. However, we have further raised our preparedness level for COVID-19 to alert mode with the establishment of multi-sectoral emergency preparedness technical working group, specifically dedicated to reviewing the risk of COVID importation and evaluating the response pattern as events unfold in the state. In addition, we have marked out an ad hoc treatment center for COVID-19 in case of any eventuality. Presently, the state rapid response team is reinforcing preparedness with simulations for evacuation and triage at this center. We have in stock sufficient quantities of commodities, especially protective preventive equipment and supportive drugs for therapeutic interventions in case of further challenges.
The Permanent Secretary also outlined some measures in which the general public can prevent the spread of the virus.
Regular and thorough hand washing with soap and water, especially when the hands are soiled, or the use of alcohol-based hand sanitizer is also recommended. To maintain at least 1.5 meters, that's about 5 feet distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. 3. Persons with persistent cough or sneezing should keep a social distance and not mix in the crowd. 4. Endeavor to practice good respiratory hygiene. When sneezing or coughing, cover your mouth and nose with a tissue or your sleeve at the flexed elbow. Then dispose of the used tissue safely immediately. 5. Exposed persons should stay home if you feel unwell with symptoms like fever, cough, difficulty in breathing, and notify relevant authorities immediately. All health facilities should ensure strict and appropriate infection prevention control at all tryout points.
The River State government says local government council have a vital role to play in the quest to make the state and investors having a destination of choice for investors. Deputy Governor Ipalibo Harry Banigo stated this during a meeting between the members of State Ease of Doing Business Council and chairman of the 23 council areas of the state of the government house in Port Harcourt. Harry Banigo said the meeting is designed to enlist the participation of the council chairmen who are closer to the grassroots in driving the process that would make the state actualize the goal of making River State the ultimate investors' haven. The Deputy Governor who noted that the ban of business within the state has been the issue of multiplicity of taxes and the crude method used by local government councils to collect revenue, said if the states must succeed in redefining the business climate in River States, the e-registration of businesses, which will employ modern techniques, should be embraced by all and sundry.
This move by the DODC, Ease of Doing Business Council, is aimed at promoting initiatives for the public and private sectors to work in synergy to actively drive investments into the market through active promotion of investment potentials states. As a state, we are very lucky that all the 23 local government areas have abundant peculiarities in resources. Among these resources are non-oil potentials of the state for investment promotion.
You are listening to the World News in Today 95.1 FM Voice of the People. After the break, more news foreign and sports stories. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still on to the world news in Today 95.1 FM. Thanks for joining us. The Hydrocarbon Protection and Remediation Program, HYPREP, has been urged to ensure the inclusion of women in the decision-making process of the Okoni cleanup exercise. An environmental activist, Kabari Sam, said the report of a research shows that women, especially those in the rural areas, are most vulnerable to the pollution of Ogoni land. Sam, who is the head of Center for Environmental, Human Rights and Development, in an interview with newsmen in Port Harcourt, noted that women in the Ogoni land have been sidelined and do not have access to the information on the cleanup exercise.
Women, as a very vulnerable group, bear heavy burden of the pollution. The study noted that prolonged exposure to polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon prevalent in the Ogoni area will increase cancer rates of the local population, especially skin, lung cancer, as earlier reported in 2011 by the UNEP report on environmental assessment of Ogoni land. There is increased number of deaths and reduction in lifespan in some communities. Women who bears a huge impact of oil contamination as a result of their high vulnerability should be adequately involved in the cleanup.
Suspected serial killer Gracious David West has denied he was taken to different hotels for investigation by men of the Nigerian police during a cross-examination before a high court sitting in Port Harcourt. David West and his defense told the court that he was rather taken to different hotels, which is not familiar with, by operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The suspected serial killer also told the court that he has never visited any of the 8 hotels operatives of SAS are taking him to, as he denied killing women in those hotels, as well as ownership of the alleged signatures tendered as evidence by the police. A correspondent to Chindu Ejowo report that the trial judge, Justice Adolfo Senebele, after listening to his defense, adjourned the case to the 23rd, 27th of March and the 2nd and 3rd of April for continuation of cross-examination. And on the foreign scene, the acting White House Chief of Staff says that the United States media is feeling a coronavirus panic because they hope it will take down President Donald Trump. Global markets have continued to fall as the virus infects over 50 countries. There have been 82,000 reported cases of COVID-19 worldwide and 2,800 deaths since the disease emerged late last year. Over 60 persons have been affected in the United States. And groups of refugees and migrants are heading towards the European Union after Turkey said it would not abide by a deal to stop them from reaching Europe. Turkey's communications chief said the country had not received enough support in hosting millions of Syrian refugees. Its decision followed a deadly attack on Turkish troops by Syrian government forces in northern Syria. The incident sparked fears of a major escalation involving Turkey and Syria military ally Russia. Greece and Bulgaria, which border Turkey, have sent reinforcements to prevent people from entering. And to end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. The federal government have received a protocol from China as Nigeria confirms first case of coronavirus. PDP has slammed the presidency for failing to prevent coronavirus from entering Nigeria. You heard that the River State government is dispelled fears of coronavirus in River State. And on the foreign scene, the acting White House Chief of Staff has said that the United States media is fueling coronavirus panic to take down President Donald Trump. That was detailed by Chinedu Iwuna. By Ifunayo Bemonduke rather. For comments and inquiries, please call 081-5341-8657 or 081-4434-3502. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Thanking you for listening. I am Buchira Afua. Have a terrific weekend. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I